rain. We got drugs, we need some more. Let's hit the store. We in slow-mo. I think we need a boost, something to make us go. I think we need a juice. Crack open another can, mix it with the Supertron. What you call that, cat? Dummy gone. Dummy gone? Money long, Kaiser home, feeling like a winner, man. Tell them how you feeling, man. Fresh like the winter game. Chillin', man. Home one. Ribs, yep, got some. Some out of state, yep, even got home run. Go dumb, US, yeah. Yeah, we feeling ourselves like the boy Mac Dre. And we say, cannot mix it with what you do. And we say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. And we say, cannot mix it with what you do. Hogs and chopper, level 1 vodka, scrapers and box, we hopping on top of dance in the summertime, little bit of Hennessy, mix it with the hyphy juice, yeah, I be the remedy, 18 dummy man, every day the slang chain, where we from, Oakland, land of the stunners man, area lovers man, especially the runners man, never do we love them man, team only running train, we need a girl with extensions in her hair. He's my earring, at least 2 pair. A rainbow bag with a turf attitude. Bottle of the Remy, same price as a shoe. And we ride, we smoke, and we high, but we folk, and we fly, and we fly, and we know, cause we hype, and we on, and we say, cannot mix it with what you do. And we say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. Open your clothes and swing to the left, swing to the left, swing to the left. Open your clothes and swing to the right, swing to the right, swing to the right. Open your clothes and swing to the left, swing to the left, swing to the left. Open your clothes and swing to the right, swing to the right, swing to the right. I cannot mix it with what you do. Yeah, hyphy juice. I cannot mix it with what you do. Smodo, baby. Modo. I cannot mix it with what you do. Cass, main man. I cannot mix it with what you do. Yo.
What can I mix in? What's my juice? What's going on, everybody? What's up, Buddha? Shadow Buddha in the building.
I'll be the good Veterano and teach you prison politics, but you're gonna do something for me.
Prison politics. Okay, we'll do that next time. Yeah, let's do it. What up, Shadow Buddha? Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, man. CROWLEYISM. Today's episode, CROWLEYISM, the secret teachings of the rainbow body and the psychology of hash and Buddhism. Let's get into it. I'm your host, Gabriel. Yeah. Shout out to Buddha. Donations are welcome. Hit me up with a buy me a coffee. We always like that. Best way to go for donations. So, and I also do appreciate if you donate your thoughts and comments over here in the chat. I'll probably drop the link. Come up, let's talk about these. Let's talk about these slices of life. Right? Appreciate y'all. Let me see. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, so let's go on this Aleister Crowley. Who was Aleister Crowley? Aleister Crowley was a magician, a weirdo. Some say a maverick, a sorcerer who bended reality to his will. Some say the most evilest man ever. Influencer, a social influencer for sure. But yeah. Oh, sorry, reading this message. Yeah, so I like going by what the consensus has to say at first. What do they have to say about the man? Oh, here you go. Is that Candace Owens? Oh, what the fuck? Damn. Even Candace Owens.
What I'm about to tell you, you're not even going to believe me, but you can just research this. You don't even have to go down a dark hole on Reddit. You can just literally open Wikipedia. It is so in our faces, and yet we don't learn about this. And now I understand why they are very upset with me. So you may have heard of a man named Aleister Crowley.
Okay.
If you haven't, I'll provide you with some brief spark notes. Aleister Crowley was an Englishman. He was also a drug abuser. He was a bisexual.
Bisexual. Oh, no. Damn. He was what book did he? Drug abuser. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I might go over his essay on psychology of hash later. He has a book called The Diary of a Drug Fiend, which actually law enforcement at the time when it came out in the 20s, they read that one.
Credited with
to get into the mind of a dope fiend.
Heavily influencing the eventual counterculture revolution of the 60s in America. Free love, free love. Yeah, that book, Chaos. Things got weird and satanic in the 60s in America. And America is where this Englishman, Aleister Crowley, eventually moved. But what he is most famous for is black magic. He was an occultist who pledged his allegiance to demons. What I'm about to tell you, you're not even going to believe me, but you can just research this.
Okay, so that's one take on it. Hey, what's going on, Twilight? How's it going, man?
What's good, bro? What's funny about all this?
I'm chilling, bro.
Black magic, man. It means a few different things, right? I'm gonna tell you because you actually. Black magic means a few different things. One, it's talking about the current of energy. Okay, so it's called black because it has to do with the stars. It has to do with the stellar current. Okay, black is also that that is too bright to be seen by those who are not just the light. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's actually darkness is not really darkness at all. Because really from everything comes out of the womb, right?
Yeah, the void.
We have millions of stars in the sky right now, right? But yet if we look into the sky, it's black. How does that make sense? This is why a lot of the gods like Krishna and all that were like dark blue or black because it represents the sky. Now getting into Crowley, because this totally connects. Crowley envisioned Nuet as the sky goddess. And when you really understand what he's talking about the objective and the subjective reality and the collapse of the two. I'm not going to get into all that right now because that's heavy shit. But
we're starting slow first. Yeah. So,
we'll start slow. Well, you know how I get. But I'm just telling you. I'm telling you because it's funny because these stellar currents were the currents that existed before the solar traditions, the lunar tradition, the Saturnian traditions. Today we have strictly solar and Saturnian traditions. And what I mean by that is they're all based in solar worship. And what I mean by that is it's a anthropomorphized vector of the sun.
Okay.
So Christianity they're all solar traditions.
Worshiping the sun. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
in terms of that, I've heard that Bill Cooper said this that the first people that started to worship the sun, they were not necessarily worshiping the sun, but more so what it can do for us. And that's why they call it the sun. That's why we get the word sun, S-O-N. It's not the father, but people over time they warped it and they actually, like you said, anthropomorphized it as the actual worshiping the sun. Yeah.
Well, nobody actually worshipped the sun. Like that was only like way back when you had like nobility and priestarchy and all that were like hypnotizing people, and they told people like, hey, we know when the gods are going to be favorable. We know when there's going to be fertility. We know so trust in us and give your trust to us, right?
What's up, Browns boy?
And Browns boy, what's good, bro?
Yeah. Oh, your mic is popping a little bit, just so you know. Chat was like, I can hear your mic popping. So just let you know.
It always does.
It's popping a bit. Okay.
All right. Is it any better? I'll come back if it is.
Not really. Come back.
All right,
Can you just come back, and
Yeah.
then we can get into Saturn and go over some of these clips I want to show everybody. Yeah. Okay. Solar Saturn. You know, he said Saturnian. That's Saturn, right? The Saturn. We've talked about Saturn quite a bit. And a lot of times when you think about Saturn, is oppression and delayed gratification, boundaries and whatnot. Let's see if we pop back up. There we go. Hello, my friend.
Right, is that better?
Yeah, a little bit, but we'll work with it. So you said Saturn. Real quick before we start the video. So Saturn. What is that? Is that? Because I was talking about. When I think of Saturn, I think of boundaries and structure and sometimes oppression and hard lessons.
Saturn is Satan. I mean, if you the way that, archetypically speaking. Now, Saturn, there's nothing wrong with Saturn inherently, but like the people that are in control, you know, everyone talks about conspiracy theories and all that. There's some truth to that. There's a lot of misinformation too, but the point is, you know what I'm talking about. All right, those people, the black nobility and all that. All right, they worship a distorted version of a Saturnian archetype. So people are like, oh, they worship Lucifer. You know, it's like, no, they don't worship Lucifer. They don't worship pagan gods. They worship a malformed, distorted version of the Saturnian archetype. It's a dark Saturnian archetype. Like Yahweh. Yahweh is a distorted Saturnian archetype. If you really do the research, you'll find that it came from El, and El had 70 sons, and one of those sons was Yahweh. Okay? And you can trace it back to Dagon, which is why you have the Vatican. They have the fish hat because they were priests of Dagon, right? And so you got Moloch. Everyone talks about Moloch. Moloch is Saturn. It's the same. It's the same deity. Chronos. You know. So that's. But
this
so now the
is
stellar
Aleister
tradition.
Crowley. He became notorious in the early 20th century for
Okay. Yeah. Moloch. Oh, these are all like quote unquote. If we're talking good and evil polarity, not so good dudes. Sounds like. And by the way, is my mic popping? Is there Shadow Buddha was saying in the chat like my mic was popping? Do you hear it popping?
I don't know.
Okay. He said it was popping, but I know we're popping right now. Popping on this. So that's a good start real quick. So I want to what I want to do, I'm planning on doing today is kind of be a quick one because you said like for sure you said you have stuff you have to do, but also too I want to just get your take still. So I don't mean to rush or anything, but I want to see like off the top of your head when you see these things, what's your reaction, and then we'll move on to the next one. So I just want to do this kind of like a crash course on Aleister Crowley. You know.
Okay.
So let's go. Thank you for being here too.
Yep, no problem.
Creating his own religion. This is Aleister Crowley. He became notorious in the early 20th century for dabbling in the occult and creating his own religion called the Lema. He was sometimes called the wickedest man in the world. Also, early in his life, he was ice skating, and the tip of the skate stabbed him in his, quote, much prized perineum. He didn't get any sort of treatment for some time, and it didn't heal well, so he leaked out of the wound for the rest of his life. This is Aleister.
Well, that's a stupid video.
Aleister Crowley, and I've said this enough that I should be able to get it right, but I'm paraphrasing here. He goes, magic, which of course he spelled with a CK, is the art and science of causing change to occur in conformity with will. So in a way that's sort of mind over matter, but it's the idea that one can, through will, bend reality.
Well, the gentleman there is.
Any thoughts?
Oh man,
that definition.
Well, yeah,
maybe we can do exercise and keep it concise. Even though I would love to just keep going on.
Yeah, we would have to do another video entirely. I've looked deep.
We'll see if we can just hit the man.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely do it again though for sure. But so what do you think when he said about bending reality with your will?
Okay, well, here's the thing. What Crowley really meant when he says, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." Love is the law. Love under will. That's the whole statement. People paraphrase it, they don't understand. All right. And that's how everyone gets ideas that he was so evil and all this and that. No. He was a troll. That's what he was.
Yeah, that's what I
They
thought
called him
too.
all these-
Troll comedian.
They called him
Yeah.
all these things, and so he took it. He
Yeah.
was born into an incredibly religious, what we call Plymouth Brethren. You know, basically the end of days is coming any minute now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, type shit. His dad was like a pastor. You know,
Yeah.
and you know he completely was like he idolized his father. Then his father died when he was young, and it kind of fucked him up. And so he went
Right.
the other way. He went the other direction. But to say all that to say this, when Crowley says "do what thou wilt," okay, what he is saying is he's talking about will, capital W, like your dharma, like your reason for being, not what you want to do right now. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so what people that are like taking his
Wait, that's important. Wait, that's
system-
important right there. Wait, we just can't glance over that. 'Cause that's a great what you just said. It's not like I have a will to beat Fortnite tonight, level up on Fortnite. It's actually like
Right.
it's deeper than that, right?
much deeper. In fact, that would
Yeah.
go against your will. It's not
Okay.
your idle whims at that moment. It's doing what you're supposed to do and only that. Having a single pointed attention like a laser. Okay?
Yeah.
Which is what magic requires anyway. So this is what I'm trying to say. When people say that, oh, Crowley did this and Crowley did that and he influenced everybody and they're all a part of his cult and all this shit, it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. And I can show you from his own writings that it's nonsense. You know, but even more so, like when it says love under will, love is what, you know, holds together something. Okay, so it says love under will. We're like, oh, see, will is more important than love. No, that which holds something up is what stable. So when he says love under will, okay, and he says every man and woman is a star, each with their own individual orbit. And so what he's saying is you should not interfere with anyone else's orbit. But as long as you don't do that, you're free a priori to do whatever it is that you will. No one should be able to tell you. Well, no priest, no politician, no you know, any authority figure of any kind should be able to tell you what you can or can't do, as long as it doesn't affect anybody else. That's what he was saying. It was absolute sovereignty, but it was also the way he put it is do what thou wilt is the strictest apotheosis, but also the most, you know, basically the heaviest bond. In other words, you have to walk that. And if you basically violate your own will, you'll pay for it. People don't get that either.
Yeah.
He talks about that.
Yeah. Self-sabotage. And we'll back it up a little bit when we said you know, the love under will. That's, you know, one of the mantras Crowley says. The love is very important, the foundation, the common denominator, right? So with that said, that reminds me of, I see some resonance with the great Neville Goddard, you know, with imagination, and he has that book, The Feeling is the Secret. Right?
Yes.
That can be like the feeling of love and it mixed with the imagination, your will, you know, like could really take you to heights you've never been before. You know?
Yes. It's what Crowley was basically saying, that the will is literally a formula. Okay. And if you follow that formula, okay, that everything and everyone will come to lead you into that will, because it's what the hell you're supposed to do. So nothing on earth can get in the way of that. That's not saying, oh, I will trample anything that gets in my way. No. Talking from a mystical perspective, that when somebody knows themselves, okay, first off, why did Crowley even say that no one deserves to be have anything imposed upon them? Because unlike religion, Crowley believed that man was good from beginning. He didn't believe in original sin, obviously, and that basically
I don't either.
what makes people degenerate and disruptive and, you know, pernicious or whatever is when they're forced into being something they're not.
They're not, not natural.
When morality is forced on them that doesn't belong to them.
It's kind of like if I have a dog pack, you know, 3 dogs, and the one that's one of the smallest ones, what's his name? Junior, let's say, right? He's not the quote unquote alpha of the pack, right? But he has a important part in the pack, a beta or sigma, right? And so the lesser, right, than the alpha. But if Junior has to be the alpha, the lead top dog, he's not gonna be comfortable, and he might be yappy when normally he wouldn't be if he was doing his role, or feel, or like just aggressive, or not being his true self, right? Because he's out of place. He's not doing what his will was supposed to be. Right?
Yes, your will creates union, attraction, and magnetic coherence. Okay, which is how magic actually works outside of the spooky dooky shit. Okay.
So would you say synchronicity is a hit on it? Like, hey, you're on the right path. Meaningful, all these so meaningful coincidences. It's like a kind of like a heads up, like a check. You're on the right path.
Well, it can. I mean, it depends. I mean, you can have synchronicities that can lead you the wrong way too. It depends, and that's why you have to be very sure of what exactly it is you're working with, and that's why you have, different frameworks, that we discussed. Because it can get really easy to miss what the hell you're doing. Like for me, like I told you, I'm creating my own system, which I never thought I'd be able to do. And I'm bringing the Kabbalah back to its pagan origins, because it goes back to Egypt and Mesopotamia. Let's just keep it a buck.
Right.
All right.
Mystery Babylon, Mystery Babylon cult. That's what Bill Cooper used to call it. Mystery Babylon, sect or whatever.
I really liked William Cooper. I mean, I have some differences of opinion now, of course, but I mean, at one time when I had I won't say Christian worldview, because I never had a Christian worldview. I had a Gnostic worldview before I even knew what that was. Before that word, I knew what the word meant. But when I had a God versus devil, evil versus good worldview, I most definitely, took in everything. It was something different, and that's why they came out.
So he's part of your reading list, like Beheld. But he wrote Beheld the Poor.
Oh yeah,
so that was part of your reading list.
Yeah, and he had Mystery Babylon series, man. Like
so,
first right when I was a teenager. Yeah.
So let me, with that said, I want to segue this. Watch this a couple. This is great, bro. I found this video, and I just wanted to show you little parts of it, because in order to strengthen that will and and find your true will, right, what your purpose is, basically, Crowley he worked on himself, right? He studied. He had an extensive reading library and whatnot, and from different parts, works from all over the world, right? Yep. Right. So exactly. And I want to see if I bet you have some of these books. So let's see real quick what this guy has to say about what's on Crowley's shelf.
Probably, man. I probably have most of them.
Explains Wheat, Hadith, Rahor Kuwait, and the Star. He also goes into how he understood Thelema in the context of modern society and how he saw it impacting the world. All of this makes
Thelema was the religion that was based on guys in the chat.
Beginners. The second text I'm going to suggest is the essay Duty, which is a great text on the ethics of Thelema for beginners.
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about his rules.
As a spiritual path, describes the relationship between
never mind. These are his books. Oh, I thought, because I found this one video before where it talked about some of the Buddhist books and the other books. So you're here. Fuck a video. What are some of the books that would have been on Crowley's shelf that he would have used? Can you give us an example?
Well, he studied everything, man. He was studying
or some of the things he studied.
Egyptology.
I was surprised when I found that. When I found out about him, I'm like, oh shit, he has like a lot of yoga stuff going on and stuff.
Yeah, he actually did his own translation of the Tao Te Ching. He was absolutely fascinated by the ancient Egyptians, obviously. And I mean, it's kind of obvious why they have one of the most sophisticated systems of magic in history. And we've got like 5% of the shit like understood, and 95% still don't know. I don't know if you know about the pyramid they found recently that was like under the sand, like just recently. And they found like all the shafts like under the Sphinx and all this. But yeah, anyways, there's a lot to it. And this goes back to what I was saying about black magic in the stellar tradition. Egypt was a stellar magic tradition. What does stellar magic mean? It means the left-hand path. Well, what is the left-hand path? Well, the right brain relates to the left hand. The right hand relates to the left brain. That's the solar phallic Saturnian archetype. Okay, so this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Did you know the god that the Israelites? Okay, you know, they met on Sinai, right? Which is Sin
Mount
AI.
Sinai,
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing: Sinai was a god of the moon. Did you know that?
No,
He
I
was a
didn't.
god of the moon. Yeah, he was a god of the moon. You had Sin and you had Namu, okay? And they were Sumerian gods of the moon, okay? So when they talk about sin, that's actually what they're referring to. And what they're referring to is the sinister. Well, what is the sinister? The sinister is the left. Well, what is the left? The right brain. And what is the right brain? The feminine polarity. And what is the feminine polarity? The left-hand path, the stellar tradition of the ancient. That's what it is. Because the goddess was always central. That's why Crowley invoked Babylon. Babylon is Lilith.
Yeah.
That's my
Right.
stuff.
That's the
Yeah.
lust card in his tarot deck. It's the
Correct.
woman riding the lion. Right.
Yeah, I have my own version. It's by someone named M.M. Moline. It was a woman. She was a she studied like Crowley and like everybody else. I actually have the card right here. Hold up. Let me grab
That's why
it.
everyone has their place. Even the Vestal virgins have their place. The prostitutes have their place. The wives and girlfriends that are very sexually active. Love sex.
Right.
You know, it's like
yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
I mean, they do.
Yeah.
You know, and Crowley was obsessed with that. Actually, he called the Scarlet Woman, and we'll be here too damn long. But like I said, we could do a whole 6-hour thing on just Thelema.
No, this is get over the place. It's just like interesting just to hit all these points.
But yeah, man. Well, I've studied every damn thing, and my roots are in shamanism, not actual ceremonial magic.
Ceremonial magic, yeah, I get right. Which I like
just realized that what you can find with LSD and mushrooms, you can also find through deep meditation and ritual magic.
Yeah. Then that's good to know because that's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Yeah. So here's some of the books. Here's some of the occult books that he wrote. I want you. You probably heard of some of these. You might even have some. So there's the Book of Black Magic and Pacts by E.I. Waite. That's the guy that wrote the deck, right? Right. So this
E.A. Waite was one of the members of the Golden Dawn.
Golden Dawn, yes. And so it says. So this book, the Book of Black Magic and Pacts, this is the first book that sparked Crowley's interest in the occult in 1898. That's interesting, huh? Because before this, it was the Bible, right? I assume that, and maybe some other like Shakespeare's and stuff like that.
Well, he was obsessed with Revelation, and he was. I believe he was into the Romantic poets who basically were the first to turn Lucifer into a, basically like a Promethean figure, where he was like the light bringer. Like so, like actually, if you look into like Frankenstein, right? Yeah. And like what do you call it? Dracula and all that, like Mary Shelley and Percy Shelley and all that.
Yeah.
Like they all started all that. Actually.
Yeah, and also too, like those writers, if you read it, like
I lost you.
There
you go. What happened? I lost you. Hold up, we're back. You came back, but then you lost him.
Am I back? Yo. Oh, hold on. You can hear me now, right? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? Chat, can you hear me? Twilight, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Twilight, you there? This is you?
Yeah. I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, so
that's weird. I'm only using one device.
There's one.
Okay.
So what I was just saying is this video made me see Dracula as a sympathetic character. And which is So it's funny how, like you said, like these romantic writers started to make sounds like romanticize Satan or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's another book called The Cloud Upon the Sanctuary by Carl von Eckertson, a fundamental text for understanding the inner church.
Yeah,
interesting. Inner church. Break that down for a second, my friend. Inner church.
It's written in code.
Oh, code. Okay.
That was one of his major influences, actually, because it talks about something akin, but not exactly, to like the Bodhisattva or like the ascended masters, where there are like overseers who have like incarnated throughout time to lead people, and how there's a lodge that exists outside of the physicality, like in other words, like in the astral plane.
Okay.
And he became obsessed. Yeah.
He's upset. Will this become like maybe later on the foundation of the origins of his secret chiefs, the SC you commune with?
Yes.
Or try to commune with?
Yeah. The vision and the voice and the cloud upon the sanctuary are like the major texts of that. He was also influenced by Blavatsky.
Right. I think we're going to get to her book too. We'll get to her book. I'll say the next one. We'll get to that. So the second one is the book of the sacred magic of Aberlin and the Mage. This is McGregor Mathers, central to the practice of seeking the knowledge and conversations with the holy guardian angel. I've heard of the holy guardian angel.
Abraham of Worms. Yeah. Abraham of Worms was the original author. Crowley created his own version of it.
Okay.
That was a little more adversarial. That is actually a little bit overblown. People have this idea that it's some like ginormous, crazy ritual that was done along with what they mistake. The Babylon working is the one that really messed things up. They talk about like, he opened up gateways and he saw like lamb and all that. Like that wasn't that actually. That was something else entirely.
But the
Abramelin is a little bit overdone. I've actually performed.
Well, Abramelin, that's right. Yeah. Was it Jimmy Page that tried to do the ritual of the Holy Guardian Angel at Boleskine House at Lake Loch Ness? Yeah.
Yes, he was obsessed with Crowley, and so he bought his house. And he used to actually do magic during concerts and shit. You could see him like pulling corners if you watch like concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
You'll see that he's actually bringing the audience into a magical working. It's kind of crazy.
Wow. Yes. And a lot of these guys, they influence Crowley as well as Zebulon for sure, but Crowley did influence a generation. He was in that book of the law. He was definitely, he brought in the new aeon, we could say, with this popular culture stuff.
No, that much is definitely true. The problem is that people took Crowley's writings outside of Kenneth Grant, which is one of my favorite occultists. Well, very, very.
Oh, he's good.
Strange guy, but when you understand what he was really doing, he was the only one who really understood what Crowley was doing. And so what he did is he took what Crowley did and he completely revamped it and made it his own. And people are like, well, he doesn't really know Crowley because if he did, he would have followed him. No. You don't know Crowley because Crowley didn't want anyone to follow him.
He wants you to do that, right? He would want you to do that, right? Similar, like a lot of these teachers, like Jesus, right?
And you go back to Typhon, and but you get into the Book of the Law, like that really was some prophetic shit, some wild,
I know Kenneth Grant too. He wrote the forward to one of my old teachers, Aeolus Cephas book, Lucid View, or was it Homo Sapien, or either Homo Sapien he wrote or Lucid View? Not Kenneth Grant, but he wrote the introduction or something like that to it. So here's another one too. This is fun right here. And I've heard you teach on this before, Twilight. This is the next book, The Kabbalah Unveiled by S.L. Mathers, essential for study in Hermetic Kabbalah. So what is Kabbalah?
That's the first one that I would point to and be like, that is really good if you want to understand the Kabbalah without all the accoutrements that it's attained over time. Because it's been kind of like twisted and contorted. I don't use Jewish Kabbalah myself, but I'm not really necessarily against it either.
How can it be? How can the Kabbalah be help you with practical stuff here and now? Offhand, what do you think? Yeah.
How can't you? I mean, where do you want to start? It's a system of it's basically like having a filing cabinet for all the archetypes. You look at the tarot, right? And you look at the tarot card, which, by the way, anyone who is actually serious about getting into any kind of occultism of any kind, the first step is the tarot, like quite literally. And that's another reason why Crowley shines so much, because what Crowley did is not something new. It's something very old.
Yeah.
Like, that's the truth of the matter.
But he brought it to a Western audience.
Incredibly ancient. Huh?
But he brought it to a Western audience, so it seemed new to a lot of people.
Well,
a lot of times Westerners have they think they're locked into their own paradigm a lot. I'm sure almost every culture is, but it seems like Westerners are a lot too. And so when Crowley came with this stuff that you said that's been around or so for a while,
yes,
maybe like people like, oh my gosh, he started something new. When in fact he just did it in his style, right? Integrated things and did it in his own style.
He brought something that had been kept hidden for a very long time. He was the first person to really plainly speak about magic in a real way.
Yeah.
That was not, people are like, oh, he was like, a 100th degree Mason and all this. Like, you don't understand. He was
ceremonial.
Initiated after,
right?
Just like
it was almost like an honorary degree.
Yes.
Yeah, he self-initiated it himself mostly. Just like a lot of us. Yeah.
Like, I have friends that are part of orders and stuff, and they've asked me, "Do you want to be?" And I'm like, "No, like I'm good. Like I talk to spirits directly. Like I don't need any any hierarchy, anything to tell me anything.
Right. You say it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you say he made it clear for the most part. Paraphrasing what you said, he made it these magical workings like user friendly. I'll say I like to use that word, user friendly. However, I have to say some of his stuff is very poetic, or even like I said, he's like a comedian. You said troll. It's so sometimes you gotta sift through it, right?
Well, I mean, it was still incredibly articulated. So, I mean, he wrote in codes and ciphers and everything else. Somehow I always could understand him. I don't know why.
You got a gift.
I've always been fascinated by all of this, man. Like, I started with just studying different religions, different mythologies. And then I found a copy of the Book of the Law and I read it and I was like, what the fuck is this? The first time I was like, I have no idea what any of this means. And I started looking deeper into it all, but yeah, Crowley talks like kind of like I do. When I get he was in his zone, man.
He was
would talk about like the Hermetica and the Norse and the Egyptian and all that like in one breath, and he would talk about the associations with like Saturn or Venus or whatever.
Right, he would the resonance of it, like it's like in the 777 other Kabbalistic teachings. That's a really that's like in your face with that. What he's doing there, integrating things.
Yes.
I went to school. My college degree, literally, it's called integral studies. It was basically like liberal studies, right? But that's very helpful for some of us to be able to integrate all these things into a concise, like user friendly way of that can help you and your other people. So Shadow Buddha has a comment. He says, this is going back to what we said, you said about anthropomorphizing the sun. So Libtims explain how Abraham and Brahma and Sarah and Saraswita are not real people nor gods, but anthropomorphized of an ancient Egypt theological belief of the connection of the, let me see. What's up, Zeph? Sighting of helical rising of Sirius, right? Of Ra, the start of the annual Nile River flood and the repowering of the sun.
The Sirius is another 8-hour topic. When you realize how much Crowley's AA Silver Star, his own organization that he created. People think he started the OTO. No, he didn't. He didn't start the OTO. He took over the OTO because he was that good. But anyways, the AA, the Astrum Argentum, literally means the silver star, and the silver star is Sirius. Now, what is Sirius? Sirius is he already said it, a set, which is Isis.
Right.
Okay, so in the Egyptian stellar tradition, okay, they did not see the gods as anthropomorphic. They literally said that when they die, they would meet Heru in the fucking stars. Okay,
Literally, so, huh?
it was literal. Yes, the temples were created in such a way to where they mapped. They literally reflected the belt stars of Orion. Why? Because Osiris, star, was the fucking god of Orion. When he died, he became Orion. And when you go through the descent into the underworld, okay, and you go through that period, you're supposed to become, that's what the pharaohs were. That's why they were considered god men and all of it. But Sirius was Isis, and Orion was Osiris or Asar.
Okay.
And so that's really what you're talking about. And the silver star is Sirius. Typhon or Set, which is where you get into 10th Grant in my favorite topic, okay, is Ursa Major. Okay? It's the polar region of the stars. This gets into Hyperborea and the European side of things too. But that's another side. That's a side issue. Because this shit all connected. It's all connected. This is the thing. This is another thing that Crowley understood that a lot of people don't. And the people like Blavatsky, and even, with all their failings or whatever, you have to understand this is like the fucking early 19th century, man. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, people can't do it now. So they want to sit and throw mud at people. It's just like, okay, like where's your work? You want to check everyone else's work and be like, oh, well, this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong. Well, where's your output? That's what I say. If you're not making anything, like, I really don't want to hear anything from you. Because it's really easy to tear someone down, but it's difficult to actually replace it with something else. So that's just how I feel about it. It's like, what are you doing? People have like such strong opinions. It's like, do a video and show me your proof of what you're saying. Otherwise, like, I really have nothing to say to you.
It's like everyone's saying, you're free, right? You're free to give your opinion for sure, everyone. But it's like, dude, like, what do you have? What's your solution? What's your show and prove, as we used to say in 5%ers. Yeah, show your work. What's up, Zev? I was gonna say, okay, we got another book. Real quick, you're talking about Sirius. Do the Dogons have any connection to that? Because my father's from Mali, and that's where the Dogon tribe is from.
Oh yeah,
I remember hearing about the Sirius. Yeah.
They knew about A, B, C, and did you know they just found D? Sirius D. They just found it.
Wow.
They just found it like a few years ago.
Just found it?
The Dogon knew about this shit hundreds of years ago. And they're like, oh, no, Western archaeologists came and they must have heard it from them. And no. They had this tradition way before that shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, and I think when they rediscovered it, it probably does unlock something in the collective consciousness, huh? Like,
bro,
like when you said they just discovered it, and it reflects how people are acting too. No, what is that? Explain, please.
Playa is a megalithic complex. It has the entire procession of the equinox, all 26,000 years, okay, mapped out.
Wow.
And it's like a little ways from Egypt. It's just outside of Egypt. And the knowledge that is encoded in these structures had to have been at least like, period. So, like, go back to Tepe age. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Like, the ancients understood this shit, and this is why they had everything aligned to Orion and Sirius and the Pleiades and all that, because the understanding back then, okay, not modern day people saying, oh, well, they worship these gods because they believed it was this and they believed it was that. Well, first off, the Egyptians didn't even have a word for gods. They were the Neteru, which are literally nature. But where we get the word nature. So they were forces of nature, which is also my paradigm. Okay, that exist within nature and within the human consciousness. So all of these gods were expressions of natural forces and archetypes within the humanity. Archetypes are way older than young. That's an old idea too. These are all very old Gnostic ideas. Not Christianity, but Gnosis, as in like thousands of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could we say things about Gnosis then, like do most Gnostic tradition acknowledge the archons and demiurge?
Yes.
So with that said, could the archons and the demiurge to be like facets of the god? Like,
No.
you know what I mean? Like, no. Okay. So what's going on right there?
The archon. Oh man. Okay. You're gonna have to like check the video. I did like 6 hours on this. All right. So the demiurge. No, literally, I have.
I push you to the max, man. By like, hey, can you make this a 6-hour
and
video in 3 minutes, 2 minutes, or 1 minute?
Well, me and Muhammad were talking about it too. On his channel, and he read something I wrote in regards to this. Like I said, I'm writing this book, man. That's why I'm on fire right now, because this shit's like, it's
flowing, bro. You're in the zone, man.
Well, like I said, I don't really have a chance usually to really like get into it. Like I talked to like Frank Monday and shit, and like we just like go back and forth because we have a lot of similar, interests and shit. Like especially with the East and the West, coming together and all that. And for me, I'm taking it further because I'm taking the so-called light side and the so-called dark side and showing they're really one. They're two sides of the same.
Okay.
But yeah, the demiurge is a inorganic, predatory, you could call it an infrapsychic species of mind. They're not physical entities in the sense of like the way that we would think. Now, what's very, very interesting, and I can show you this from a Nag Hammadi text that goes back over 2,000 years. You actually have Jesus warning about these archons in the Nag Hammadi, okay? Because there were pagan Gnostics, there were Jewish Gnostics, and there were Christian Gnostics. In the pagan or in the Christian Gnosis, okay, which I mean, you want my opinion? I think Jesus was a Gnostic, but anyways, that aside, okay, he's actually talking about the archons and how they abduct souls by night. That's what it says. Okay. Okay. So what is the demiurge? The demiurge is a basically a fractal distortion of the mind. Okay, so what I'm telling you is
a crack in the mind, like a crack in the glass, right?
Hackers. They're mind hackers. What today we call UFOs. Listen closely. What today we call UFOs and UAP and all this shit, okay, is what the Gnostics called archons. They're one and the same. They are not aliens from another planet. This is one of the things that got them eliminated. They said, look, this God that you're worshiping is a demented alien. But they don't move around in vehicles. They don't have a physical body at all. So when people are like being taken, this is an astral hack into the field of what the Gnostics call the anthropos. So they're able to project unrealities into the human mind and deviate it. Okay? Their whole thing is to pull people away from what is natural. Transhumanism is their MO. It's their ultimate goal, you could say. So think of the archons almost like AI. Okay? Like a cosmic AI system that was created through an anomaly, is how it's explained in the Nag Hammadi. Yeah. And the anomaly was Sophia falling from the pleroma into the kanoma. He went from spirit into matter, and that created a demiurge, basically what's explained as an abortion. What looks like an unborn fetus. With
popped out when she hit that ground of that.
And it
more or
believed
less.
That it was the highest God. It believed it was the highest God, and it was mistaken. And it starts creating all this shit, believing that it's in control, but really it wasn't aware of its own origin. And so this
he's never met his mother.
Well, here's the thing: the demiurge. Okay, 90% of what you hear about Gnosticism, they say the Gnostics denied the earth. They were earth deniers, or they were life deniers. Nothing could be farther from the truth. The actual gnosis was this: Sophia is the planetary intelligence of the earth. She, as an aeon, as a stellar aeon, the word aeon is Gnostic. It's originally where it comes from. All this shit is originally Gnostic. Really. All of it. Yeah. Every secret society, it all goes back to Gnostic.
Hey, Markella.
Okay, Sophia was the original Lucifer. Okay, then they turned him male and all this shit. It's associated with the serpent and all that. The serpent has been worshipped on every continent for millions.
I've heard it's the oldest found god worship in Africa. I remember they found the serpent cult So, yeah. And
The
it's funny you
sun.
say that because I just saw a sermon. Yes, I just saw a video about Lilith, right? A little
Yeah.
origin story of Lilith, and they were saying that as the story of Lilith went on, she's rebellious and all this. She became the serpent in the Bible in Genesis.
That's right.
You know, like yeah.
No, she always.
Interesting.
She always. They just covered it up. No, but see,
Yeah.
like, look, the Old Testament is a colonization manual for ancient traditions. I'm just gonna tell you straight up.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah. What do they do? What do they do? They tell you nature is evil.
Don't question.
The woman is evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't you be talking to Asherah anymore. We know you did that in the past, but we're not doing that anymore. See, they tell you in religion that, you know, the Israelites were worshipers of one God, and then they slided and they started worshiping these other gods. No. You got it backwards. The original Israelites were pantheists, okay? They were polytheists. They worshipped many gods. Yahweh was only one of them. And that only happened with Hezekiah and Josiah, okay? And you can actually look in the Bible and you'll see like little fragments of basically what looks like a war between two priesthoods. Because that's what it was, okay? And so there were those who worship Asherah, who is Venus, who is Lucifer, in the female, because it's a masculine and a feminine Lucifer. The morning star and the night star, the dusk star, the dawn and the. So you have Inanna, for instance. Inanna is the queen of heaven. Astarte is the queen of heaven. Isis is the queen of heaven. Okay? So when they talk about the queen of heaven, that's what they're talking about. Okay? So Lucifer represents Venus. Okay? If you actually, and what's even more interesting is if you look at the transit of Venus in the sky over the earth,
it's a pentagram.
It actually forms a pentagram.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from. So when you see the pentagram, and it's like, oh, it's all satanic. It's like, okay, but what does that mean? Okay, and they see the goat, and you see the goat horns, and you see like the Baphomet and all that. And it's like, oh, this looks very masculine. Yeah, look at the goat close. You know what it is? It's the female reproductive. This is all feminine symbolism. Black magic is the feminine polarity. It has to do with receiving. That's why the Kabbalah is called the received tradition. It's to be receptive. It's the darkness. It's the womb.
Right. You need the. I have a book called The Chalice and the Blade that talks about the cultures that were more matriarchal and patriarchal, but in itself, though, if we're talking hierarchies, Gnostic style, are we talking about first like bottom level demiurge, then Sophia, and then what's up? Is there something above that, Sophia?
No. The demiurge doesn't belong in any hierarchy. It's literally an anomaly. It's a mistake. It shouldn't exist.
Well, it's a mistake, but it seems to have dominion here, though. You know what I mean?
No. See, that's the thing.
It's more of a system.
This is where. Well, that's exactly what it's the way the Gnostics explained it is the archons are able to misdirect and divert the attention of the anthropos from their telos. That's what the word telestai, which is what they were actually called. Okay. Not
what does that mean in layman's term? What you just said? Because that sounded high power, but can you say it like in
telos.
A newbie neophyte?
Yes, it means to have an aim. So the telestai were those who are aimed at what? The home story. What's the home story? The home story is what's known as Orneric myth. It's the oldest mythology on Earth. You can find it in Aboriginal Australian mythology. You can find it in Zen mythology. You can find it in Sanatana Dharma before it got corrupted. The idea that we live in a dream. This is a dream. It's not a simulation. It's not unreal. It's an interactive dream of a goddess. And that goddess is what we walk upon. That is nature. Okay. Mother Nature is literally alive. She's a super living organism.
So is she the Most High?
Well, yeah, as far as, that can be ascertained. There's what we call an origin, but it's not a being. It's just a percept. It's just a how do I put it? It's a field from which all things arise.
A field,
kind of
okay.
like a Tao, kind of like a Tao, a Tao.
Would that have more of a masculine principle?
Yes, Delete.
Yeah.
That's what I have on my name. Yes, Delete.
Interesting.
Is the masculine aspect. And there's others too, but those are the most important. Oh, and Christos, which is not the same as religious.
Okay.
Religion's made. Yeah, it's kind of what holds everything together. It's like the glue that holds everything together. But yeah, this is a very, very deep topic.
Yeah, I appreciate it for you sharing. And Shadow Buddha, he's saying that Abraham and Brahma, or linguistically linked to how ancient Egypt astral theology majorly influenced Judaism, Hinduism, and Christianity. For example, remove the A and the B and reemerge M and A, Brahma, and you have Brahma. Okay. And the Brahma, 20s, we were talking about how the Demers thought that he was the only God. I forgot who you said it was. Maybe it was, but Brahma thought something similar too. Because there's a story about
that's
Buddha,
right. He's a demiurge.
Buddha. Yeah, exactly.
The demiurge isn't only
was
Yahweh.
telling me. Mm-hmm.
There's more than one demiurge. All of these gods. Okay. See, look, I'm a pagan animist, but I also identify as Luciferian in the sense of like Giorgiani. Okay, so what I mean by that is I come from a pagan perspective. So I don't believe any of these gods are worthy of worship. I believe the Asir, the of the Norse pantheon. I believe the Brahmin gods. All of them are essentially tyrants if you really look into it. Okay.
Yeah.
And deities like Prometheus, which is Lucifer. It's just another. It's just the same. And what I mean by that is it's archetype. Okay. You have Enlil. Enlil was the one who actually flooded the earth. Enki was the one who was like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" and warned the human. In the Bible, we have it as one flood and one warning, but I don't think so. Okay.
Right.
So this is the thing. In Egypt, you had the eyes of Ra. People see the symbolism on the dollar bill, and they're like, "Oh, it's the eye of Horus, the eye of Ra, whatever." Okay, well, here's the thing: the eye of Ra were the goddesses that were the anger, that were the vengeance, which were the stabilization of Ra. Ra was the hidden one. Amun, which is Lucifer, again. Okay, so it's the light that, not the light that you can see, but the light that allows you to see at all. Let me rephrase that. Not the light that you can see, but the light that allows you to see light at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's the hidden sun. This is also what's called the black sun, and it also relates to Sirius. Now we're back to this again. Sirius is the black sun because it's the sun behind the sun. And so what I mean by that is our sun, the solar sun, gives us the warmth, but behind that is the spiritual sun of Sirius. Okay?
Spiritual sun.
So
unseen.
Yes. Well, this is why you had like the Egyptians actually had their calendar set to the heliacal rising of Sirius. In fact, Washington, D.C. is mapped out as a sigil of Sirius. I'm not joking. If you look at the what do you call it? The monument, the Washington Monument.
The monument, yeah.
The Cleopatra's, not Cleopatra's Needle, but the star, the Pentagon, and the obelisk. A star, an obelisk, and an ovum is legitimately the sigil of Sirius. That's how you represent it. Okay, so Sirius is like a big deal when you get into like deeper understandings of the occult. Like it's and this is why all of these societies like considered it very important, and it's also tied to Venus. Venus points towards Sirius. Like here, I have this written down actually. Hold on.
This do you have your channel? Can you say your channel so Markella, my head mod, can share it in the chat? Is it Twilight Sun?
It's the same. It's the same. Just click my name. Or I think they allow.
I looked it up. I was trying to find it. I thought
Yeah, no,
Let me
it's
see.
not. Just my name though. Hold on.
Okay.
That should.
I think I'm definitely whatchamacallit sub to it because I've watched some of your lives before. Let me see. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not popping up. All right, try putting TwilightSunAnimism. That's actually the name of my channel. My bad.
Okay. TwilightSunAnimism. Okay. That's all good.
Yeah. You'll see Nodred. You're in the right place. You see Nodred. Nodred is the serpent priest of the Druid. So you see that, you'll know why. But yeah, man, I've been writing this and I've just got like so much here. It's insane. But yeah.
Before we go back to the book list, what do you have right there? Go ahead, let's read it for us, please.
Yeah, it says I was getting into Freemasonry, right? So the blazing star originally represented Sirius, or the dog star. It's actually the drag star when you do the etymology. But anyways, the forerunner of the inundation of the Nile. The god Anpu, or Anubis, companion of Isis, Aset, in her search for the body of Osiris, her brother and husband. Then it became the image of Asar, Horus, the son of Osiris himself, symbolized also by the sun, the author of the seasons and the god of time. Time is Saturn, okay? Father time, the Grim Reaper, all this shit. When you really understand all this, it makes sense. Okay, son of Isis, who was also the universal nature, himself the primitive matter, inexhaustible source of life, spark of uncreative fire, universal seed of all beings. It was Hermes also, the master of learning, Thoth, Tahuti, whose name in Greek is that of the god Mercury. It's also Odin. And Ningishzida, which is the Sumerian god. In Freemasonry, it is taught that the blazing star is a symbol of deity, of omnipresence. The creator is present everywhere, and of omniscience. The creator sees and knows all. Sirius is therefore the sacred place all Masons must ascend to. It is the source of divine power and the destination of divine individuals. Now, hold on a second. Masonic art portraying Sirius, blazing star, as the destination of the Mason's journey. To achieve perfection, the initiate must successfully understand and internalize the dual nature of the world, good and evil, masculine and feminine, black and white. Through alchemical metamorphosis, the concept is symbolically represented by the union of Osiris and Isis, the male and female principles, lunar and solar, to give birth to Horus, the star child, the Christ-like figure, the perfected man, who is equated with the blazing star. The sun and moon represent the two grand principles, the male and the female. Both shed their light upon their offspring, the blazing star, or Horus. The Egyptian hieroglyph representing Sirius has been esoterically interpreted to be a representation of this cosmic trinity. Cosmic Masonic art portraying Sirius, the blazing star, as the destination of the Mason's journey. Oh, sorry, I read that. My bad. The hieroglyph representing Sirius contains three elements: a phallic obelisk representing Osiris, a womb-like dome representing Isis, and a star representing Horus. This concept is so crucial for Freemasons that it was embedded in some of the most important structures in the world. The Washington Monument, an Egyptian obelisk representing the male principle, is directly connected with the dome of the Capitol, representing the female principle. Together they produce Horus, an unseen energy represented by Sirius. The Egyptian god Horus and the star Sirius are often associated together. Okay. Masonic tracing boards depict the sun above the left pillar, representing the masculine, the moon above the right pillar, representing feminine, and Sirius above the middle pillar, representing the perfected man, or Horus, the son of Isis and Osiris. So
wow.
I could go on and on and on and on and on.
No, okay. So like that's great. So I'm getting the unification of opposites, like bringing it back to Crowley too, and corresponding what you're saying. So how is what you just shared with us? help me, for example, I'm going to go in a couple hours to go teach some second graders and fourth graders, and later on maybe some eighth graders. I have like 3 classes today. So like knowing the masculine principle and the feminine principle, how they come together and whatnot in different ways, how can that help somebody, would you say, navigate a day, for example, offhand?
Well, I mean, at the ultimate level, what you're talking about is alchemy.
Okay.
And it's realizing and understanding the self. And when I say the self, I don't mean the egoic self. It's like when I talked about will, I don't mean your whims. Whims and will are two different things. Just like the self and ego persona are also different things. I say ego persona because people get a wrong idea of what ego actually is. Ego is persona.
Yeah.
And you can't kill it, so don't try, because it's suicide. It's who you are.
Right.
Literally.
That's what I don't get with people, psychedelic folks. They go, I'm trying to destroy my ego. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah. That's right-hand
That
path.
sounds like ego to me.
Right.
Stupid
Right.
shit, whatever it is. Yeah.
It's control. I was part of a right-hand path system that used to talk about that. And if you go back to my videos from like 8 years ago, I actually used to talk about it. And you'll see that so I've been doing this a long time. I've just kept very to myself because I like it that way. But
Hermit mode. Now it's time for you to bring that light that you've been accumulating in your alchemy.
I mean, I suppose. I never thought I'd be able to write a book, bro. On some real shit. Like I never thought in a million
That's amazing.
years. Or create my own system. I always thought like that's way too like above my pay grade. I was never initiated into anything. But then I started, walking with these spirits, man, a long time, bro. And I've like, gone into so many currents. Norse current, the Egyptian current, the Norse current, the Druidic current. Fucking I have a friend who's in the Kimbanda who taught me some shit, about that. So I know about the Exu and all like
so you're doing what these people Crowley and them were doing, like, for example, so let's bring it back to the
that's why I respect Crowley.
Yeah, exactly.
Crowley was a genius. He was misunderstood.
That's what I agree. I agree, bro. Absolutely. So it says one of the other books he read was on the Western front, on his Western text, were The Voice of the Silence by H.P. Blavatsky. And Blavatsky, right? He highly valued Blavatsky's theosophical insights, despite disagreements with the movement. What was the disagreement with the movement? Probably. First of all, what's a theosophical insight? What does that mean? Just like basically all the esoteric things we're talking about.
Theos is God or gods.
Okay.
And Sophie is wisdom. Okay.
Okay.
So it literally means the wisdom of gods. Okay. And her main like mantra was there is no religion higher than truth. I don't know how you can hate on that. Right. But
that's cool.
People do. And she was a woman. People forget this. She was a woman writing in the 1800s. Like she had to like sneak around and pretend to be a man to even get half the places she wanted to go.
And it wasn't like she was just going to she wasn't going from Pittsburgh to Cleveland. She was literally going to Asia, remote places in Asia and all over the world, right?
Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
And she came from a well-to-do family. Yes, she completely despised them and moved herself away from them. And now you have people that think just like with Crowley, because they take the original master's teachings and they can corrupt them. People think that Blavatsky was like the mother of the New Age. Like you see all the conspiracy theorists talk about she's the mother of the New Age and the mother of the devil and all this type of shit. It's like no.
Like Eve, right?
It was Blavatsky was fucking hijacked by Alice Bailey and Foster Bailey, who are Fabian socialists. Yes, theosophy now is no good for sure. Stay the fuck away from it. Just like the OTO is no good. Stay away from it. Like it's all been corrupted. All this shit is all in the past. Let me make that very clear.
This is why, I think it's
all these traditions get corrupted. Go ahead.
They get corrupted, right? This is why I think it's very important for us. I really wanted to see your takes and the chat's take on these books, because it's kind of like going to the source. I like to learn what some of the people I admire and look up to. Like who did they admire and look up to? So
you're on the same page as I am, bro. That's what I've always fucking done. Every time I read a
Right.
book, I look at the back. Suggested reading.
Yes.
What is that, bro? Like that's just
The
as
works
important
cited,
as the
that's
book.
great. Mm-hmm.
Dog,
Yep.
I'm telling you, I think we're on
Yeah.
a similar wavelength, man. The first time I talked to you, like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel it too, bro. Like, it's evident right here. Synthesizing all these things together, like that's what we're a common denominator and all this. Do you see this Twilight? So that was the basically a quick rundown of the Western, some of his favorite occult esoteric works. Now here's some of the Eastern books, so get your take. So it said Crowley traveled extensively in Asia and integrated many Eastern concepts into his teachings. So here we go. So the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the primary source of his 8 lectures on yoga. I know in book 4, I think I have book 4 over here.
Yeah,
I think it has some of those lectures in there. Yeah, so what is that? So yoga, right? So we're talking about like Hatha yoga, like because everyone because basically I have a Hatha baby, a Bikram yoga baby, because my wife and I met at a Bikram yoga studio 13 years ago. Then we got married, and now we have a son. So and actually Crowley is one of the influences why I started yoga, because I was at my old housemate's house. Our house, and I looked at his library, and he had this book by Aleister Crowley. I heard that name. Let me see. And I opened book 4, and then he's talking about yoga. I'm like, what? Yoga? Magic with a K? So I was intrigued right there. So why is yoga very important, Twilight, you think?
Oh, man. That's one of the major things that's one of the major things that he brought out is, you know, there was that's one of the Eastern teachings that are so paramount, man. Like a lot of magical systems, especially nowadays. Oh my God, if you even want to call it magic. You see people on like TikTok and shit talking about magic. No fucking clue what they're talking about. I feel bad. You know, like I said, no one taught me, man. I just, except Lilith. You want to say that, you know, whatever. I believe so, because I don't have no fucking clue how I got into all the crazy shit I got into the other way. But yoga, man, is a philosophy. It's a way of life, bro. It's not just like stretching. That's like 5% of it.
Exactly.
You know. So you're talking about energy work, like qigong and shit, and
transformation,
and like,
the art of transformation. Yoga.
You can't do magic without that, bro. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You cannot do magic without energy work, and they do that on purpose so people don't hurt themselves, and that's good. But a lot of these like modern grimoires and shit, they don't tell you that you have to have like mastery of energy. They say with the chakras. Okay, yeah, the chakras will help you, but like if you don't have a fucking system of energy work, like you're shooting blanks essentially, bro. Like it's gonna get you nowhere fast, you know.
Yeah.
And then you believe
it may end up being worse to be behind than if you didn't even pick it up, right? It might hurt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like detrimental.
There's this dude Travis Magus who I've talked to. He's really cool.
I know him. He commented on one of my videos before.
Yeah.
Travis Magus.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have a very similar perspective
Kabbalah
on magic.
guy.
We have a very similar perspective on magic. And he says, you know, that, like most people, like they don't want to fucking like when you tell them that you actually have to do shit and you actually have to work.
Yeah.
You know, he said he was like doing classes and shit. And he said that 75% at least, bare minimum, when they were asking like why their rituals weren't working and all that. And he asked them like, what were you doing to prepare? What were you doing, outside in the physical world when you were doing these, doing these rituals? And they're like, nothing. And he's like, congratulations. You have successfully completed, you successfully completed the magical art of wishful thinking. You know, like they don't man. Like it keeps it real. Like that's why I like it. Because it's true.
Yeah, and I love. He's true to book 4, Crowley. Like he has practice theory. He goes over the book literally. You don't even have to buy any of his courses or whatever. Like he literally step by. He shows you. You can read. You can read along with them. These books and right. And whatever level you're at. And some of them were actually very hard to find when he started doing it. And also too, he has the that's the theory, but it's also book 4 also talks about practice, the second half of the book, right? And that's dude, that's where the rubber meets the, what they say, the rubber meets the road or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's where the real magic happens too, because you putting those theories to the test, you know, and sharpening it, right?
And
very
and
important
Travis
stuff.
talks about the Vedic, influence and all that. We agree on that. He talks about like Patwa Shuddhi, and he references this book called outside of, I'm like into Dzogchen. I don't even know what that is. It's a Chinese form of meditation. It's basically non-attainment. So instead of trying to like attain something or visualize yourself as some, as something happening later on, it's realizing the luminous mind already exists naturally, and peeling away the cobwebs that make you believe it's not that way already. So that's basically what it is. It's just like, it's not that like there's anywhere for you to go. You're already divine. You're already perfect.
You're already here.
Like
you're already it. You're already it.
You're already it. It's just realizing what's stopping you from realizing that and acting out in reality. And so like he talks about this book by Saraswati Natarajan. I can't remember his name. I have it, but
it's like some high-powered new duality or something. I like it.
Yeah, it's called Dharana Darshan. And I agree with him on this, that it is one of the best books on meditation that I've ever come across. Like, it shows you that most people don't even know what meditation is. Like, when you actually get into like how deep this shit really goes, this is like based in the Upanishad, which I saw on that list of books.
What is it then? In terms of like what is meditation? Like, what is it in the layman's terms? I always thought like a lot of it is focusing, extreme focus, right? But what would that book? What do you say? Okay, what's meditation?
That's actually what the whole book is about. Is that people think that focusing and concentration are meditation? No. That's what prepares you for meditation. Meditation itself is something else entirely. And to actually meditate, you have to not try to meditate. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like letting go, because that was the theme on yesterday's show on language, on the language machine that keeps going. Is like new guru was talking about letting go of things and whatnot, and so maybe you can say.
It's the law of reverse effort.
The law of reverse. So focusing on the law of reverse effort can be like meditation, right?
So like if you're trying to do anything magically, or even if you're trying to manifest, we'll use that word. For people like into like New Age, or even if you're not New Age, there is the idea of manifestation. Okay, people are like, oh, The Secret. You just like whatever you believe, that's what becomes true. Well, no, it's not that simple. It's what you are. That's what you attract. It's not what you think.
You already have to be it. Yeah.
You have to already be it, right? Yeah. Okay, so like in Dzogchen, you have what's called in the Nyingma school, like Tibetan Buddhism, and prior to that, you had what's called Bon Po, and it's basically like a shamanic tradition of Tibet. Okay, and it's called Rigpa, and that's the intrinsic luminous awareness, free of fabrication. That's how they explain it. Okay. So the intrinsic luminous awareness, free of fabrication. So instead of having a structured meditative path, with elaborate visualizations, it's direct recognition of the mind's nature without contriving. So realizing what they call kadag, which is the mind is originally pure. Delusions are clouds obscuring the sun. Do you get it?
Yes.
So you
delusions are blocking your true awareness.
Yeah, if you see the mind as the sun, these delusions are these clouds that you believe are part of you, that you believe are part of your experience, but really they're accoutrement, like I said before. So it's about spontaneous presence. So all phenomenon arises naturally. In science, they call this emergence theory. Without forcing or effort. It manifests as energy and appearances in the world. So real meditation is non-meditation. It's an ongoing recognition of what is already present. So you have what's called trek chow. It means to cut through. And what you're cutting through is error, through delusion, through, all that. But it's non-dual, and I'm non-dual. I don't believe in duality. I believe in polarity. So what I'm saying is, like we were talking before about the Cliff-Off and the Sephiroth and all that, and how I'm bringing it together. It's realizing that they're really two sides of the same coin.
They're the same thing, yeah. One without a second. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get back on this. This is fucking great. Once again, I appreciate you, Twilight Sun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like turbo mode. It's just because I don't have fucking much time.
It's great.
We'll be able to do it a lot slower and more structured and shit. But
you're
hitting me up a lot, man, and I'm trying to do it the best I can.
As
fast as I can, and that's a hell of a. I got a hell of a task ahead of me.
You know what we're doing? It's like speed chess. Which is great in itself, right? If you take it for what it is, it's great, and I appreciate this. But I owe you a couple long versions of it where you can just relax and stuff. But I'm liking this. I don't know, man. Maybe it's my ADHD or whatever the hell that is, or illusion too. But I love it. So here we go. So we already had the Yoga Sutras. So now the text of Taoism. Translated by James Leakey, including the Tao Te Ching, and you're talking about the I Ching, which is translated. And why is that book the Tao text is the Tao I Te Ching so important? You think?
And for one, man. Just because it's a philosophy, and it's like the whole thing is paradox. It makes you like a lot of people think that it's actually a teaching. It's not.
No, it's the way.
It's meant to make you question everything.
Right.
Okay? So it's an alignment field. So this actually is aligned. There's certain traditions that are aligned with my own tradition. Like I said, I'm not a Thalemite. I'm not a ceremonial magician in the normal sense. These are all things that I've just, I've taken on board. Okay. I ultimately come from a shamanic tradition. Okay.
Well, that's why with you, it like one could see you as that, and it's not. It's and even though you say you don't identify it because you're a shamanic foundation, I think, in the Tao, and you know what I mean. That's very Tao in a sense. Like it's like I saw this wonderful lecture of Alan Watts's Zen Buddhism, the religion of no religion. Type stuff, right?
Well, that's the truth.
Whatever you need, you're there. You're able to do it, right? You're able to calm you with the Christians, calm you with the anarchist punks, calm you with the, the fucking 5% nation, like whatever you need, it's there.
Man, it's like this, bro. Yeah. Whatever doctrine you have, whatever degree you have, as a whether you're like in a church or a rabbi or a mason or whatever the fuck, I don't care if you're 90th degree Memphis Mizraim, fucking Ellis Cohen, Night Priest of the Universe, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves.
The universe.
No, the Night Priest Elect of the Universe. They call themselves that. It's called the Ellis Cohen. Yeah. They're like a more esoteric Masonic body. But anyways, I don't care what any of that shit is, man. If you can't stop everything that's going on in your mind and in your surroundings when shit gets real, it doesn't mean anything, bro. And that's what this practice is really about. It's about being able to shut everything down, no matter how chaotic things are around you. That's what it is, man. That's Jesus in the boat. Don't get me started with my interpretation of the Bible. That shit's hot.
We're gonna do that next time. That sounds high power.
Because I'm not.
What you said is stopping time.
For sure, I'm anti-Christian.
Anti-Christian.
Sure. I'm not anti-Christ, not by a long shot. No.
No, I see Christian teachings in what you've been sharing too. I see it, bro. I have to say, what you're talking about, stop. It's like we were talking, Joe and I, and a couple of people. Yes, the other day we were talking about stopping the world. How Castaneda talks about that with Don Juan. Stopping the world. It's like you said, anytime, which is very Tao. I mean, he's talking about Yaqui Mesoamerican shaman, right? However, he's definitely teaching Tao right there, and a lot of Don Juan through Don Juan. Okay, so there's the next one. Thank you, Markella, for putting that up for sub all that great stuff. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, there would be more fun stuff. So the Upanishads, translated by Max Mueller for its understanding of Hindu metaphysics. Ugh. Why the Upanishads? Why is that something that we should connect with?
It's like Sanatana Dharma, which is what Hinduism was called before it was split into 500 different religions. The Upanishads are like the wisdom literature of that tradition. It's just profound, man. It's just profound. Yeah. It's like reading the Egyptian Book of Gates or something. You know, it's like it's very like Gnostic in that sense. Again, not Gnosticism 2,000 years ago. I'm talking about the Gnosis that's been around since. Well, yes. You can read any occult author worth their salt, any Mason worth their salt will tell you it all started in Egypt and Persia like 8,000 years ago. Like that's just what it is. All right.
Right. With all the Mesopotamia area, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
But even Mesopotamia is kind of like
after
overblown,
the
I think. Like the Sumerians were not before the Egyptians, bro. I'm sorry. It's just the case. Because you have the dynastic Egyptians, but then you have the proto-dynastic, just like with the Druids too. People think the Druids are new. No. You can go into any occult, anyone who understands the occult, they'll tell you like the Druids have been around a long ass time. They were survivors of Atlantis. You really want to get into it. So were the Egyptians.
Right.
And there's a connection between the two. And there's a connection between the two. They don't want you to know that, but yeah.
Right. And we also too I remember the Mayan 2013. I was a Mayan. I mean, since 2011, I've been keeping time with the Mayan calendar, and I remember hearing there are, and contrary to people think, there are Mayans still alive in Mayan calendar, and people who keep time with the elders, and they were saying like the Mayans they were linked up with Atlantis. They were linked up with the Chinese mystics. They call it China Maya. Egyptian kind of Mayan, like it's all it's Bro,
did you know there were melanated people in Ireland and Japan? Did you know that?
I do. Yeah, I've seen that before. It's like wow.
You heard that? Okay.
Yeah,
check it out. Yeah. There were also fair-skinned people in Egypt in the first dynasty with red hair. They don't want you to know this shit, bro. They want you to think everyone's been in the same place for all time. No, we've always fucking worked together, man. We've always worked together.
Always been in motion. That's one of the biggest secrets, I think, of divisiveness.
Look up Warlock Asylum, bro. He'll blow your minds.
Okay.
He's on a similar tip as I am, because I'm really into like Japanese culture and shit, and getting into like Atlantis and all that. Japan is more like Lemuria, because you had Lemuria and then you had Atlantis. They're not the same. Lemuria was more like the Polynesian islands and like the Pacific and like Japan and all that. Warlock Asylum. He's an occultist. His name is Messiah El Bey. This is another name he goes by. Okay. He wrote a book called Atlantean Necronomicon. It's some wild shit, man. And he talks about what I'm talking about. You had in Japan, you had what were called the Goonie Monument in Japan. Okay, it's underwater. It's like a temple complex, like 10,000.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Right. I haven't seen it, but I've been there because I live in Taiwan now. I've been to Okinawa, where I think Grant Hancock and his wife they swam over there to see it. They done many dives, the steps of those temples allegedly. Yeah, so I've been to the soil, Okinawa, and it's a very magical place up there.
Yes.
There's theories too that there's been research papers and scholarly research done that some people think that like you were talking about.
Well, Warlock Asylum essentially, in my book, proves that there was a lot of there was a huge shamanic tradition going on in Japan. Okay, that's a whole other. That's yet another topic. Japan can do another 8-hour thing because they have so much shamanic, Gnostic, like tradition. Okay, and there was connections to the Sumerian tradition as well, which probably actually influenced the Sumerian. That was called the Ubaid tradition, which were the Proto-Sumerians.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's
Yeah.
crazy about this is you had the Jomon period of Japan, which they don't really know much about, and this is when you had this we call the Emerald Tablets of the Crow, this Japanese like shamanic tradition that is related to everything that I'm talking about right now. So there were many vectors. It was in Tibet. You know, that's why they had the masters going in Tibet. And you had like in World War II, everyone was really interested in Tibet and Antarctica. There's a reason for that.
For the reason, and as you say that, I was going to go over this more, but we'll hit this real quick. There's Shadow Buddha has been pumping this. It seems like it's a good video. He's been telling about the rainbow body of Tibet, the teachings. Just real quick.
Consciousness is the subjective nature of light. Sri Adida. This story of a Tibetan Buddhist monk realizing the rainbow body is typical of the phenomena.
Hey, what's up, Zephyr? How'd you get the link? Did I put the link down there? Good to see you.
For many, particularly in the Tibetan tradition, the attainment of the rainbow body is very real. In fact, it is reported that many thousands have been first-hand witnesses to the phenomena. But what exactly is the rainbow body? And can anyone achieve it? Simply put, the rainbow body is a mystical transformation, wherein the physical body dissolves into what is known as a light body. This represents the pinnacle of spiritual evolution, and is often equated with enlightenment. Those who attain the rainbow body are believed to have not only transcended the usual cycle of death and reincarnation, but to be reborn into a higher dimension of existence. To many, this phenomenon may be obscure, mysterious, or even unheard of. However, it has been recorded in a number of spiritual traditions, not only Tibetan Buddhism. In fact, there are some Christian scholars, such as Francis V. Tiso, who argues that Christ's ascension may have been a case of attaining the rainbow body. In this video, we will first look at the phenomena of the rainbow body, as it is understood in Tibetan Buddhism, and its first appearance in the religion, which predates Tibetan Buddhism. Bon.
All right, we'll go back to that some another time. Put a bookmark in. Let me see, because I got a couple more minutes before I gotta go. Yeah, there are teachings, books. We got a couple more books. So that's the Eastern philosophy and religion books that Crowley was influenced by. But then he had a couple prominent literature and fiction books. So Crowley's writing style was heavily, and that's an important thing about Crowley too, the way he wrote too, was heavily influenced by the classics and the decadent movement of the late 1900s. So the Golden Ass by, have you heard of this before? The Golden Ass by
yeah, it's not the ass. I don't know. Yes.
An ancient Roman novel of initiation of magic. That's what it says. I'll just read you what it says. It says
ASE, right?
Like about Roman
unless someone's been
ASS.
Oh, really? Someone's being
with the AI.
No, yeah, someone's being funny.
That's the
ASE.
ASE, okay. I thought they were talking about the Golden Brew. You heard of that book, right? The Golden Brew by Sir Somebody. What's his name? Sir Somebody. It's kind of like what Avelius Levi did his History of Magic book, got from that book.
Oh,
anyway.
You want to know something interesting about? You want to know something really interesting about Eliphas Levi? Two things, actually. Very interesting. One, Crowley believed that he was a reincarnation. Okay.
Right.
Number one. And number two, you know, Albert Pike, the one that everyone is always, citing, as morals and dogma.
Albert Pike, yes, moral and dogma, KKK guy, Mason, Scottish writer.
Right. Yeah, supposedly, right. Okay. Well, most of the work in morals and dogma is straight out of Eliphas Levi.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
That makes it more interesting.
So
Order out of chaos.
So much for the highest levels of masonry. Like, no.
Right. Come on, man. Most of those people are porch masons to the core, probably even the higher ones.
They are.
I have
Well,
I have a
that's
friend
actually what
actually.
Pike meant when he said that they deserve to be misled. It wasn't about like global domination. He's saying that the people who do the shit, they want to have status, they want to be seen, they want to have their fucking like, you know, cake and eat it too. They want to have all the procurements that masonry afford them, but they don't want to actually do the work. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, oh, we're Luciferian elites and we're going to mislead everybody. And no. That's not what it meant. Am I saying that that doesn't happen? Of course not. But I'm just saying, like, that's really what he meant. Because most fucking people, like you said, they're Portuguese. You could be 900th degree, bro, and they couldn't have a conversation with you.
You don't know yet. Exactly. It's very rare. Like I have my good friend Ty over there in DC. He's beyond 33 degree Mason, but he has some high powered. We share high powered like books and used to have some really good talks and stuff. But I think he's a rarity probably. So here we go. There's Zanaya by Edward Lanton, an influential Rosicrucian tale. So I've heard about the Rosicrucian. The one Rosicrucian I think is very interesting to me is what's his name? Pascal Beverly Randolph. Randolph, have you ever heard of him before?
Yes,
he's a cool guy. Yes, and I think he would do a lot of interesting things. And one of the things that I think Randolph he wrote about hashish, and using it with his magic, and that was one of the things I was going to go over. Crowley wrote a famous essay about the psychology of hash. What do you think about weed and hash and all that? I used to smoke it a lot. I don't do that anymore, but it definitely takes you somewhere, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean any psychedelic. Yeah. I mean weed is still a minor.
It is a psychedelic too. I'm glad you said that.
You're not going to get the same places like mushrooms or acid or DMT or some shit. But yeah, I mean I have degenerative arthritis and PTSD, so I smoke it medicinally for real. I used to when I was younger, but I don't fucking. I used to party, bro. Before I got into all this shit, I was like going. Yeah. I was going.
You were testing. You were testing the boundaries, the specs, right? Of your limits.
Well, I knew a lot of people, man. Like I grew up in a very strange environment. Let's just put it that way. And it was a hostile environment. I had to be ready at any time for something to happen. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy shit. And I was surrounded by producers and drug addicts and drug dealers and fucking strippers and all this type of shit. And eventually I was just like, yo, I can't do this forever, man. And that's when I started focusing on my inner world. Yeah.
Damn. So you had post-traumatic stress. Is it growing up, or did you go to a war, or is it just like you did? So you're military.
I mean, I've been to war, not war like that. I've had war.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I mean, I've seen people shot. I've seen people stabbed. I've been stabbed. You know what I'm saying? Like war. You get what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, I know. I see what you're saying, bro. No, definitely. This
is why I stand by my convictions, bro. Because the fact of the matter is, I could have been dead or in prison like most of my friends, bro. And I got the fuck out of it. And how did I get out of it? Through meditation, through magic, through fucking actually strengthening myself. You know what I mean? Like everybody had it out for me. Not like everyone's like after me like that. But I mean, like nobody was ever really like on my side. Nobody ever really told me that I could do anything. I was never taught anything by anybody, bro. And so that's the thing. I don't need to explain it to anybody else. It works for me. That's it. You know what I mean? And it's like, this shit will help you, man. Like, you know, and I could give you influences from every fucking map you could think of, you know, whether it's like Crowley or Bobby Hemmett or fucking,
Bobby Hemmett for sure. Rest in peace. Brother Panic. Yeah.
Like I know everybody.
Brother Panic. Kenneth Grant, all those people, all these great guys.
Kenneth Grant on some other shit. Yeah, I feel like I'm a successor to Kenneth Grant in the making. I got about 20 years to reach his level, but yeah. Well, I mean, because he influenced me a lot, like with his whole scope of like what the fuck he was actually doing. If you know Kenneth Grant, you know what I'm saying. Like
right. I love his artistry, how he incorporates that into his workings and stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Dude was on some other shit.
Yeah. You got Raw, Robert Antoine Wilson, all these guys. There's a lot of good sorcerers out there.
Yeah,
sorcerer buddies and whatnot. Not to mention people that you guys don't even know, like people like I know that like they necessarily like some of them wrote books, some of them have it, but they're very high powered and decent individuals. Even that at this point, to me, that's the greatest magic. I'm at a point. I'm 48 right now. It's like if you are a good, quote unquote good person and try to do right by people, just because that's not because you're trying hard or whatever, just because this is the way, like yourself, right? And some of my other friends, that means the world in any amount of knowledge, quote unquote knowledge, I think that's very important, bro. Yeah.
But I take a lot, believe it or not. I actually take more from like traditional witchcraft than I do necessarily magic. And what I mean by that is like folk. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of Andrew Chumley. If you haven't, write that motherfucker down because he's one of the greatest in my opinion. Like period. Andrew Chumley.
What's his name? Let me see this. Andrew
CHUMBLEY.
Okay, I got him. Locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you're talking about like recoveries of like ancient witchcraft before, the witch trials and during too. Like some of they actually go back to the original.
That sounds like a lot of fun right there.
Yeah, but it's more based in the earth.
Fun.
It's more animistic, and so like if you understand,
which is great because we can literally access that anytime.
Yeah, well, it's blood, stone, and soil, man. It's all right here, right now, and that's my perspective. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't have the same mysticism as a lot of other practitioners because ultimately I'm based in Mama. I'm based in nature. And yeah, I called her Mama. That's right.
Yeah, for sure. She is Mama.
So she's the stellar goddess.
Matrix.
The stellar, right? The original Matrix. Ma is Matrix. Ma is matter. Ma is material. Ma is you get the picture. Like that's the root word.
Every culture almost you say Ma is for mother. Here in Chinese, where I'm at, fucking India, like everywhere.
Because that's what it is. That's how words work, man. And that's when you're talking about language before. I was like, damn, I missed that shit. I had to go to work. But yeah, language, good, though. Bro,
like, we're gonna do it again.
Understanding intonation and vibration and like being able to switch. Like I write rituals in like Latin and Hebrew and fucking Greek
the
and
mechanics,
whatever the fuck. Not because I'm trying to learn like all of those languages necessarily, although I've dealt with it a little bit because of just how much I've studied. But when you understand like how different languages allow you to perceive reality differently, like there's not just a different language. When you use a different language, you're actually changing the way reality rearranges itself for your perception. Like it's actually kind of
right. It is insane. Like that's why like a lot of people they don't get me. A lot of things it goes over their head. Only because I think me living here has already put me in a little Chinese I do know. It's already put me. It's a different way of being, right? However, if you pay attention, even if you don't know it, but as long as you have the open-mindedness that you're saying right here, we can still communicate with almost anybody on the world, right? But it just makes it so much better when you do study a language and what happens through the process of it, and unlocking a whole new world like the Aladdin, it's
right.
It's really amazing. Yeah, we got a couple more books. Okay, go ahead.
I'll just say it's fascinating to me. Like I always knew that language was a huge key, but like it's one of the master keys, man. When they talk about spells and spelling, everyone that meme essentially now.
Exactly.
Like it's so true though, bro. If you have mastery over the word and vibration and your headspace and all that, like you don't need any fucking tools. When you really know what you're doing and you have the energy work. Now, I mean, not anybody can just say whatever they want and be magical. No. It's a practice. You have to get to a point where, you evolve past all the symbolism and all that shit. But like when you actually go through the energy work and the self-discipline and all that shit, man, like you could be in the middle of fucking nowhere and cast a spell with nothing, literally nothing.
Right.
Be in nature.
Yeah, just that voice. I mean, we see it in. I mean, it's a movie, but you know, it's based on true events, probably. Dune, right? The Squire, that voice.
Oh,
take. Yeah,
you did not just say Dune.
They were moving mountains like that. Yeah, we've done some great
you are a
shows
fucking
on
geek.
that,
You are a fucking geek.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah. No, I mean,
nobody knows that movie unless you're a geek.
I took that as a compliment for sure.
Dog, you know how much crazy shit is in that? It is a compliment.
That.
You know how much crazy shit is in that movie? Like occult shit. Walk without rhythm, so as not to disturb the worm. Do you remember that? Walk without rhythm, so as not to disturb the worm. It's talking about
the worm.
How, you try to. Well, that's basically like when the self masquerades as something else. So like the self is spectral. It's like a chameleon. And so the minute you try to like take hold of it, you know, you throw a net at it, it becomes the net.
Something else.
So you have to like move without rhythm. And so that's what that's actually talking about.
Okay.
That whole movie is like an initiation, bro. Yeah.
It is,
Zardoz.
It is, and
all that shit.
And I think it's interesting how like the religion of the future is a combination of Taoism and Sufi Islam and some other folk religions too. But like that's a interesting that shows you that integration theory, you know, being presented there. And the whole cool thing about Frank Herbert that I always go back to is like the writer of Dune, author of Dune, like he read a history of about 36,000 years, very detailed and nuanced. However, there's no mention of aliens, right? Don't get me wrong.
Right.
A lot of the humanoids seem like aliens, right? Because of their evolution and de-evolution, right?
Right.
However, like that shows you how beautiful and wonderful a world we live in. The seed planet in Dune, which is Earth. You know, it's like it's fascinating. Why isn't animism like, you know, talking about and practice and teach more, bro? Because it's like every day is great. Every day is like the first day of creation, bro. When you look at it,
bro, it's the most suppressed system on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what every tradition was before religion started, man.
Yeah,
every tradition was animistic.
Yeah,
every one of them. It doesn't matter where you go. Even the Sumerian and all that started that way. Then it became something else later. The Egyptian, the Druidic, all of it was animistic, and it all represented the goddess. And the goddess was always the serpent, and the serpent represents the changing of the seasons. It represents rebirth. It represents going into the underworld and back again. It's the five elements. Like it's so many of the Kundalini. You know, every pharaoh had a Uraeus serpent of Wadjet. You want to talk about ancient gods? Wadjet. Look that one up. And Nekbet.
Okay,
they were called the two ladies, and they decided who the fuck was pharaoh. Because the man didn't decide, wasn't in charge back then. You were talking about matriarchy and all that. There was never a matriarchy, but what we had was a matrifocal civilization where men and women actually were equal, which, you know, we don't know what the fuck that is anymore. But the Druids and the Egyptians and all that
crazy if you say that.
held women in the highest Egypt and the Druids, even regardless of what's said about them, never practiced human sacrifice except for people that were like Epstein of the time. Basically, they take their like biggest criminals. No, they did. And they would do like these rituals, and they would absolutely sacrifice. For sure.
That's very efficient. You know what I mean? It's like instead of just executing them, hold on real quick. You get respectfully. You definitely get use out of them. Out of their evil ways, you know, their sacrifice. I like that, man. Like,
send them to the gods, man. Yeah,
people, but come on, bro. Like, yeah, that's great.
Send them to the morgue.
Let's hit this up real quick. Let's hit this up real quick. I'm gonna speed run this because I'm about to pimp off. I'd appreciate you coming too today. So Crowley was influenced by Dracula by Bram Stoker for its gothic and supernatural themes. Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, he appreciated the logical paradoxes in surrealism. La Monte de Arthur by Thomas Malory for its mystical and chivalric images. Then he was influenced by science and mathematics books. literature. Crowley insisted on a scientific approach to magic with a K and followed contemporary intellectual developments, including introduction to oh wait, I'm not even showing that. Introduction to mathematical philosophy by Bertrand Russell, reflecting his interest in logic and the structure of thoughts. Give him some of that right brain credibility. The Canon by William Sterling, a work on the pagan geometry of the art and architecture and its relations to Kabbalah. Very cool. Okay, all right, man. Give the man a second look, guys. I mean, you don't have to do some of those crimes or whatever he did, but we're talking about the ideas, some of the ideas that are helpful, right? Yeah. So
what?
I appreciate you coming.
Crowley's crime was the opposite of what they say. He was actually exposing a lot of these real black magicians. When I say black in this sense, I mean like the shit we see today. He actually exposed them. Yeah. And that's why they didn't like him. That's a topic for another day. But yeah, I'll just leave it there.
That's all. No, let me put that in. No, that is great. Stop, because it's like
same with Blavatsky.
Okay, we get it.
She exposed the Jesuits. She exposed the Jesuits, and she exposed the fucking infiltration of Freemasonry.
Yeah. Who taught me? I went to a Jesuit high school, and however, there are they had some interesting thought, but they were the rebel rousers of the Vatican, so I could see why they needed to be checked as well. The Jesuits. Yeah, bro, this has been great. Real quick, what's the difference between magic with a K and without a K?
I mean, if you're talking about like conjuring and in a sense of like stage magic, like illusion.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I would make the argument though that being good at one would make you better at the other.
Yes, the performance aspect, right?
Yeah, I actually was into regular magic before I got into magic with the. That's actually you mentioned that. Yeah,
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Israel Regarde, how he was a Salimist and other occultist, right? But he made sure to get his degree in somatic psychology or psychiatry, whatever, as a kind of like, I don't say cover, but like kind of like legitimacy, right? So then you can have fun. Kind of like how, in order to be a good musician, some of the best like contemporary rockers and jazz musicians, they're classically trained. Right, and then they can improvise or whatnot. Do your own system, like you said earlier, like Twilight is living right now.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And like, understanding how people are misled, visually, because prestidigitation. Because to be a magician, you have to actually deceive yourself first. That's why I couldn't stick on to it, because it's like, although in retrospect, it's something I've been thinking about is. Mastery of the occult could actually help you with stage magic. That's another story. I'll let people fill in the blanks on what that means. But yeah.
Well, okay, we'll put the bookmark in there. So once again, this has been the great Twilight Sun Thalet. And we appreciate you coming, man. And I'm probably gonna ask you, like, can you say that name again? And then DM later once I got a break. But we appreciate you, man. And please don't be a stranger, man.
Yeah, man. I should have gone already, but it's okay. I'll be good.
I thank you for doing that, bro. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah. It was fucking crazy as hell though. So I hope people aren't like having anxiety. But it's Delete. Yeah. Delete is the masculine aspect of aeonic.
Delete. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, for saying it. Because words are important. Words do have meaning, and we have to pronounce them right. Delete. Twilight Sun.
Yeah, it's the willed. It's the willed one. Literally the same root as Thelema.
Yes, and so I'll see you. Bro, I'm gonna have to rewatch this again, and then well, this is fun for me, and I'm sure everyone had a lot of fun with it too. But yeah, man, come see us again, and I'll be hitting you up on the Discord, bro.
Yeah, bro, I'll stay in touch.
You have a great day.
Take care, bro.
Okay, I got the Crowley. Thank you, brother. I got the Crowley. Check this out. This in itself, when I made the outro years ago, this Crowleyism video I made, it definitely has some of my own magic in there. So you can check it out. Let me know what you think later. But I appreciate you, bro. We'll see you soon. Yeah. All right, everybody. This has been Gabriel Carbo, and this is we got Crowleyism, the secret teachings of the rainbow body, and the psychology of hash and Buddhism, and all that, and Twilight. He's definitely a legend, and we'll see him again soon. All right, take care, everybody. Peace and love to my son Ben. I'll see you soon. And here we go, bruh. Hyphy magic.
Swing to the left. Open your doors and swing to the right. Swing to the right. Swing to the right. Open your doors and swing to the left. Swing to the left. Swing to the left. Open your doors and swing to the right. Swing to the right. Swing to the right. We got drink, we got drugs, we need some more. Let's hit the store. We in slow-mo. I think we need a boost, something to make us go. I think we need a juice and another can. Mix it with the Super Patron. What you call that, cat? Dummy gone. Dummy gone? Money long, Kaiser home, feeling like a winner, man. Tell them how you feeling, man. Fresh like the winner, yeah. Chillin', man. Yep, got some. Some out of state. Yep, even got home run. Go dumb, US, yeah. Yeah, we feeling ourselves like the boy Mac Dre. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. Hogs and chopper, level 1 vodka, scrapers and box, we hopping on top. Dance in the summertime, little bit of Hennessy, mix it with the hyphy juice. Yeah, I be the remedy. 18 dummy man, every day the slang chain. Where we from? Oakland, land of the stunners, man. Yeah, area lovers, man. Especially the runners, man. Never do we love them, man. Team only running train. We need a girl with extensions in her hair. He's my earring, at least 2 pair. A rainbow bag with a turf attitude. Bottle of the Remy, same price as a shoe. And we ride, we smoke, and we high, but we folk, and we slide, and we fly, and we know, cause we hype, and we own, and we say, cannot mix it with what you do. And we say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. We say, cannot mix it with what you do. Open your doors and swing to the left. Swing to the left. Swing to the left. Open your doors and swing to the right. Swing to the right. Swing to the right. Open your doors and swing to the left. Swing to the left. Swing to the left. Open your doors and swing to the right. Swing to the right. Swing to the right. I cannot mix it with what you do. Yeah. Hyphy juice. I cannot mix it with what you do. It's Modo, baby. Modo. I cannot mix it with what you do. Cascade. Main man. I cannot mix it with what you do. Joke.